Good morning. Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1FM, and 990 AM. WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams. And don't forget, of course, this program now being seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available to you at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located that will get you there. If you're on your mobile device, YouTube will do the work. You just put Mornings with the Leader Man in the search. If you're on your mobile device and looking for our audio stream, it's available with many platforms. iTunes, TuneIn, Streama, Alexa. Ton of players will play it. Just put WEEB in the search and we should pop up there at the top. Don't stop singing yet, guys. Back it up. There you go. And you can get our stream that way if you're on a website. Of course, at talk973.com, upper right-hand corner of every page has an icon that says Listen Live. Tap it once and you're listening literally just that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area. Going to be another summer day here. Partly cloudy. High of 73. Well, maybe if you had 20 degrees, it'd be summer. Then tonight, clear skies, a low of 42 for Tuesday. Look for mostly sunny skies. We're going to peak out there at about 63 degrees after this cold front comes through. Then for Tuesday night, mostly clear, a low of 35. Wednesday, mostly cloudy with partly cloudy, high of 63. Partly cloudy Wednesday night, 48. Thursday, partly cloudy, 71. Friday, mostly cloudy. 50-50 shot of those scattered showers again, high of 73. Then for Saturday, partly cloudy, more showers, lesser chance though, high of 61. And Sunday back to partly cloudy, no mention of rain, and a high of 56. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds northeast at northwest at 3. Visibility 10 statute miles. Pressure is 3018, dew point 52. Humidity at 93%. It's cloudy and 54 degrees here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Still on the backside of this cold. And I've had so many people in the studio with bad colds, I think it finally got me. But getting better, but it does seem to fog your head up. But we'll get through this together one way or the other. A couple of things that were in the pilot. One was about the residents of Woodlake getting help from Senator McGinnis, who has put forth a piece of legislation in the state legislature that would allow governing municipality, in this case it would be the Board of Commissioners, to put a special assessment tax onto their property. And what they're trying to do is get the dam fixed and put back in place and flood the lake again and get it filled back up, because it's 1,200 square foot lake, which is 12,000 acre lake. No, it's 1,200 acres, 1,200 acres lake, which makes a big significant difference in the property values out there. So what would they have to do after the McGinnis? If that passes the legislature, what would happen next? Well, it would give the Board of Commissioners taxing authority over that property to tax a separate tax onto their property. Now, you have to think several things. Is this a good idea for the county? Right now, I'm leaning yes, but I need some more information. It's a $9 million project to fix that dam. That would have to be coughed up by someone, and that someone would be the county. to fix the dam. Now, they did this in Richmond, and it worked out well. What they do then, they get a double revenue stream coming back in to pay for it. The first revenue stream is by the increased property values on all the property out there. Once it's a viable lake again, all the property values go up, and guess what? That gets taxed then at higher values, so it's more revenue for the county. None of that money would go to fixing the lake. That'd be strictly into the county coffers for everyone to benefit from as the commissioners see fit. The other, there'd be a second tax put on the properties to make them, well, that money would be designated to pay back that $9 million plus interest to the county, so that it would pay off the debt. That's what it do. So you get an increase in taxes from the Wood Lake people, plus they pay it off, not the rest of the county, because they're the ones benefiting from it. But we all benefit in a way, in that you don't want a dead spot in your county. And that right now is a dead spot. Home prices are suppressed. And if they stay suppressed, it draws in, what will happen, it'll become more rental property out there, because people can't get rid of their homes and they'll have to just rent them out. And sometimes it brings into a decline of the community out there. So to avoid that from happening, this would restabilize the property values, drive them up, you get extra revenue for it, and it will become a much better deal for the county, because then you have an asset that's worth that's once again an attractive area for someone to live. And of course, that special assessment would also be used. It would continue on for the maintenance on the dam and the lake itself. So if other work needs doing, it's there to help it. And I'm pretty sure they have a homeowners association out there to also cover some of this. So I think it would be a good deal for the county. But again, we got to see how much property is out there and figure out what the payback period would be on $9 million at a reasonable interest rate, and how much it would raise everyone's taxes out there, by what percentage, because not everybody would pay the equal tax. Those in the bigger homes pay more tax than the ones in the smaller condos. So that way it would be solely based on the value of the homes. But we got to see how much extra tax that would be on all those homes. $9 million is a lot of money. Parceled out in that one subdivision. I don't know how many houses are out there. But it would behoove us to check into it, because that could be a real win-win situation for the county as well as for the members out there at Wood Lake, and for the county as a whole, in that we would not have a dead community on our hands that someday will need our help. Sometimes when people pay taxes in, they need the government to step up for them in certain times. We just had a water main, not a water main, but a sewer main break there on Midland Road. And they had to replace it. And they spent $250,000 doing it. It wasn't that long, a sewer line. But it had to be done because a lot of folks' sewer went through it. So it's, that's one of the things the county does. They have to step up and look after those things. So it's something to look at. And I think it might be, here again, we just got to see how much assessment would be needed for, and make sure the people out there at Wood Lake are willing to swallow it, because it's going to be a decent number added on to the cost of their taxes every year. But I doubt it would be, you know, would it be, I don't know if it would be any worse than like what happened to Pinewell when they got soaked up by Pinehurst against their will. And then, you know, they got popped with a city tax as well as a county tax. And this was kind of to have the same effect out there at Woodlake, is that would be a dam tax that goes against repaying the cost of fixing the dam. So hopefully we can, it could be a positive thing for everyone. We'll just have to get those numbers and go from there. The other thing is, it just seems to bother the tar out of me, is the school situation. You know, they're building, well, they got 2 elementary schools under construction and a third one getting ready to start over there off of Morganton Road. And that's the one that's having the controversy right now. Now, they started out with the first school, and I was talking to staff and some of the members of the commissioners, and they were telling me that all of the bids for that school came in within $2,000 of each other. That's what they told me. I did not see the bids. And I said, well, you know, that they thought it was pretty amazing. I said, you know what it sounded like to me? Price fixing and collusion. I said, on a $30 million building, they're not going to come within $2,000 of each other unless somebody forgot to put a 0 on one of their bids. But it just smelled real bad. You remember back in the 80s, if you were here then, there were several paving companies in Raleigh, 8 of them, and they were the largest, and they basically sat down once a month and said, okay, you get these jobs, and you get these jobs, and the next guy gets these jobs, and so forth and so on around the table. I knew one of the men personally that was involved with that, and he didn't want to be in part of it. But they basically told him, either you be a part of this or we'll run you out of business. We'll underbid you on everything and you won't get a job. So it's kind of like extortion by the extortionists themselves. Anyway, when it got caught, he was quick to give the state, you know, what they really needed to prosecute these folks. He went to prison too. He took the hit for the company, but there's, you know, it saved the company. He's still in business. But what a price to have to pay. But this smells, our situation here smells of the same thing. When all the bids are within $2,000 of each other, something isn't right. Now, is that something, adding error? Is it, you know, they added 2,000 instead of 2 million to their bid? Or is there outright collusion and price fixing going on? All of a sudden, now we're on the third school. The person who had the bid, who won the bid, J.T. Thompson, withdrew his bid at the last second on Tuesday. The Bob Grimacy, who evidently runs the whole school and school board now, along with John Blythe, who, let me tell you a little something about John Blythe. Little I know is that he came from, I believe it's Johnson County. And you remember one of the commissioners who's retired now, off of the board, said, you know, he called his old boss, and they were so glad that Moore County hired him away they couldn't stand themselves. That he was bad news. That's what he was told. And the commissioner has since came forth and said as long as he's on that school staff, he says you won't get a dime of money for schools. And he was probably right, because he was very frustrated the school board can't get into the numbers and find out what's going on. Here you got Dr. Grimacy up there at the school board doing all the plea bargaining for the school board at the commissioners meeting when he says, oh, our first bidder has pulled out. He's bidding on another job. And something about an addition error in his bid. No, he just got way more profit out of another job and went for that. Maybe it was closer to his base so that it would even make it even more profitable. Then you have bidder number 2 comes in, dun, 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 and he says, well, I need $2.68 million more than what he had, your first bidder, Thompson, and I'm going to do this for $2.68 more million from you, the taxpayer. So, Grimacy's presenting all this at the last moment. He says, oh, and by the way, we got to tell him tomorrow whether we're going to do it. So the commissioners get it on Tuesday, and they're told by Wednesday they must tell them in order to stay on track for a 2020 opening. Something just royally smells about all of this. It really does. I would think it would behoove the school board. Of course, you'll have to ask your chief, Dr. Grimacy, since he seems to be running you, instead of the other way around. Need to ask him if you can rebid it out again. And I think it would behoove you also to request of the DA to get an SBI investigation started into these construction companies to make sure they're on the up and up, because it doesn't smell right. And who pays the price if it's not? You know who. You. It's your hip pocket that gets attacked. You've given them everything they ask. They come and say they need a sales tax, so we vote that in. They come and say, oh, we got to sell $103 million, what was it, 103 or whatever it was, in bonds, which is a general obligation bond that you're on the hook for. And to get these schools built that we must have, according to Dr. Grimacy. I just wonder sometimes, I went to Broughton in Raleigh. And when I went to Broughton, it was an old school then. And it's still an old school. But guess what? It's still there. They kept it maintained and updated and so forth and so on. And it's quite an institution. But we're too busy willing to tear stuff down. Maybe it does need maintenance, but it doesn't cost $30 million. So anyway, that's what Dr. Bob wants. He gets, no matter who's going to pay for it. And they did a big job of selling the community on sticking out their necks for another $103 million. And it just seems like an SBI investigation is warranted in that it's just too many coincidences here. And then the squeeze at the very end by these two contractors. Must decide right now. Tomorrow would be too late. Because what did the second contractor also say? I have a bid I'm going to put in tomorrow afternoon on another project. If you don't take me up on mine at plus $2.68 million more dollars than what we talked about. And by the way, on this school, there was basically a $1 million difference between the two bidders there. A little more reasonable, but I'm telling you, it's just too coincidental. Something's going on. They know what's happening with each other. And like I said, I don't know the whole story because nobody does except those contractors. And it needs to be checked into. It really does. So that we know we're getting the absolute lowest bid. All right, it is 7:51. Colonel's going to join me next hour. Colonel Jeff Drummond, United States Marine, retired. And but let's work a few sound bites in here this morning. Try to get a jump start on your smile before you get to work. Let's back up to this, our fun part. The makers of your favorite meat sticks, well, they've come up with a new healthy alternative for you. You might want to check it out.
Slim Jim, the jerky and dried sausage snacks you buy at convenience stores, is introducing the vegan Slim Jim.
Isn't that just an asparagus spear in a Slim Jim package?
Sure, you can still get the beef, pork, and mechanically separated chicken chew sticks loaded with dextrose, salt, sodium nitrate, and hydrolyzed soy. And now for the healthy-minded individual, vegan Slim Jim.
It's asparagus.
Vegan Slim Jim. Get yours today.
And your pee will smell funny, too.
All right, time for today's Thought Bubble.
And now, here's today's Thought Bubble.
You'd think driving to work the same exact way every day for years now that I'd recognize some of these people at the intersections. Nope, we're all strangers.
There you go. Yeah, that's sounding good. All right. There was a pretty epic Wheel of Fortune fail on Friday night. A woman wanted to solve the puzzle since there were only 2 letters missing. The category was fun and games, and the board read doing handstands and handstands, and only 2 letters missing were the H's. So here's how one contestant worked through that one.
Pat, I'm ready to solve.
Well, then do it.
Doing headstands and... doing headstands... Oh, my God.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah?
Doing headstands and bandstands.
No, that is not right.
Okay. Well, slow news day. All right, CBS is finally changing their whole music. If you use CVS, you remember all those years.
Thank you for calling CVS Pharmacy.
They play that music right there. CVS finally changing the music they play when you're on hold. They've been using the same piano music for 18 years. A psychiatrist in Massachusetts wrote them a letter last year about how much he hated it. Apparently, doctors' offices have to hear a whole lot when they're trying to fill prescriptions. And that started the debate because some people find it soothing. CVS says they're not changing it because of the psychiatrist's letter, though. You know how it works. When you call up, you can't get a human being. You got to go through all of this. Here's the doctor who hates CVS music.
Pharmacy, press 3.
It's soothing the first 25 or 30 times you hear it. I don't find it that soothing the 300 millionth time.
It's actually a very nice tune. At least you know that you're still on the phone.
Don't you hate it when you call up, you want a human being to answer the phone, and you get this?
In a few words, please tell me what you're calling about.
I hate it. And you get other questions, too.
For
right?
English, please hold. Para español, marque 8. For all other languages, press 9.
So you know you're going to be behind a whole lot of people who, when you go to the counter to get your drug, you'll be standing behind a whole lot of folks that don't speak English. That'll speed the line up, won't it? And a woman in Arizona, of course, you know millennials today, they know it all. She stepped over the barrier at a zoo on Saturday and leaned against a cage holding a jaguar to take a selfie. Well, the jaguar goes, now they're delivering lunch alive. And it clawed her arm, reached around and grabbed it. And she was taken to the hospital. Here's the guy who helped her when all this happened in a recap from the zoo.
Oh my God. My mom runs up and her water bottle, and she shoves it through the cage near where the jaguar is, and the jaguar goes to let go of the girl, so I grab the girl by her torso and I pull her back.
People need to understand that these barriers are here. They need to respect them. And when something like this happens, it's a reminder to everyone that these are wild animals and safety needs to be their number one concern.
And here's your stupid sign. You get to wear it all day here at the zoo. It says, I am stupid. Paraglider landed from jump in Canberra, Australia recently, and immediately got attacked by kangaroos.
What's up, Skip? Hey, go away. Kangaroos.
Yeah, they got more kangaroos in Australia than they do people. A lot of them. And body cam footage from an arrest in Cincinnati is going viral because of how incredibly polite the arresting officer was. She busted a guy at gunpoint at the back door of an apartment he was just finished robbing. She even joked with him about his nice eyebrows afterwards. He got 2 years for the burglary, by the way. Here's part of that audio.
Hands up. Get down on the ground. Thank you. Thank you. We'll let you know what's going on, okay? I appreciate you cooperating with us.
Yeah.
You got nice eyebrows. Look at that. You don't pluck them or anything, do you?
Yeah, he probably thought he was going to get lucky there. It was so nice as she was talking, but who outsmarted who, huh? I mean, you don't have to be a jerk to get the job done sometimes. A beloved high school coach in Utah surprised his players by coming home early from a military deployment in Afghanistan. Here are some of the students and the coach. You can tell they definitely idolize this guy.
This was so surreal.
I saw it, but then I thought I was just seeing things.
I knew that they were going to be excited, but I didn't know the extent. It was an emotional day, but it was really gratifying because I care about those kids a lot, and it was really good and humbling to see that reciprocal.
He walked in quick, and it honestly took the breath away from me.
He wasn't scared to go, so that kind of taught us that we can't be scared.
Leave his family behind like he did. He's the guy. He is a man. I love him.
We've been through a lot together and had some really good experiences, and I felt like the relationship just grew stronger each and every day.
The Sandhills will keep a few clouds around for this morning and temperatures on the mild side, but we could see those clouds break apart by the afternoon and highs topping off in the upper 60s. Some areas could see readings in the lower 70s. Sunny conditions will move in on Tuesday. Those temperatures, though, will be noticeably cooler. We head into the lower 60s by the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sandhills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. No word yet on the cause of the deadly airliner crash in Ethiopia, but we could be closer to getting some answers. One of the plane's black boxes has been recovered. However, one official says the device is damaged, so we don't know how much information it will yield. Meantime, Ethiopian Airlines is taking no chances. It is not flying any of its Boeing 737 MAX 8 airliners.
The airline has grounded the fleet, it says, as an extra safety precaution following the devastating crash in which 157 people were killed. Although it isn't yet known what caused the loss of the new plane in clear weather outside Addis Ababa on Sunday, the airline says its remaining 4 737 MAX 8s won't fly until further notice. Some other groups around the world appear to be deciding to do the same. China's Civilian Aviation Authority has ordered all Chinese airlines to temporarily ground their MAX 8s, and Caribbean carrier Cayman Airways says it's temporarily grounding the two it operates. I'm Charles Ledesma.
A border wall figures prominently in President Trump's budget proposal for 2020. It's due out later today. Mr. Trump reportedly plans to ask Congress for $8.6 billion for wall construction, setting the stage for another showdown with congressional Democrats. As for the deficit and debt, White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow says its spending and tax cuts the best medicine for those ills.
I don't think good growth policies have to obsess necessarily about the budget deficits and so forth.
Kudlow on Fox News Sunday. The misery index continues to soar to new heights for the embattled people of Venezuela. Already dealing with hyperinflation and shortages of food and medicine, many continue living without electricity. A nationwide blackout struck Thursday evening. The lights are back on in some places, but many areas still in the dark. On Wall Street this morning, Dow futures are down 207 points. NASDAQ futures up 22 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
When it comes to your pain, many of you might be skeptical, like I was, about ordering Relief Factor. Pat Boone again for this wonderful 100% drug-free supplement designed to help your own body lower or eliminate occasional aches and pains due to aging, exercise, everyday living. I'm not skeptical any longer. The 3-week quick start is now discounted to only $19.95. Why don't you let us see if we can get you out of pain, too, at ReliefFactor.com.
Are you a responsible person who finds yourself growing deeper in credit card debt? Then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity Debt Management will consolidate your accounts and work with your creditors. You'll save thousands and become debt-free for keeps. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. 1-800-990-6976. 1-800-990-6976.
An Indonesian woman has returned home, thanking the president and cabinet ministers for securing her release from Malaysia, where she had been charged in the death of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's half-brother. Meanwhile, a co-defendant, a Vietnamese woman, is still standing trial.
Both women say they'd been lured into what they believed were televised pranks. The two women hugged each other tearfully as the Indonesian was allowed to leave the court. Ms. Doan's lawyers are petitioning the Malaysian Attorney General for similar leniency, arguing that the real culprits, the North Korean agents who planned the operation, had all escaped. If she too is successful, it's likely no one will be held to account for one of the most shocking assassinations of modern times.
The BBC's Jonathan Head. The Russian defense minister says the military has commissioned more than 1,000 new aircraft and thousands of tanks in the past few years. News and analysis at townhall.com. More than 24 people nursing bumps and bruises, cuts. One of them even broke a leg when severe turbulence rocked a jetliner heading to New York's Kennedy Airport yesterday.
Passenger Siad Nikaj captured the aftermath on his cell phone. Turkish Airlines says that broken leg happened to a crew member. The flight was carrying 344 passengers and crew. It encountered the unusual turbulence about 40 minutes before landing at JFK. Nikaj tells WABC News he feared for his life.
People started like flying in the plane, then seeing blood all over.
The National Weather Service had issued advisories on Saturday warning pilots of expected turbulence. Julie Walker, New York.
And we are looking for a lower open later this morning on Wall Street, at least for the blue chips. The Dow right now, futures down 214 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Pride Plumbing is proud to serve Moore County with superior workmanship and dependable plumbing service, including 24/7 emergency service. Like the name says, we take pride in our work and your safety. Our employees must pass background and drug tests and share Pride Plumbing's reputation for quality service. From simple leaky faucets to new water heaters and sewer lines, backflow testing and installation, drain cleaning, plumbing repairs, and, if necessary, replacement and remodeling. A family business with over 50 years of prideful service. Go online to callprideplumbing.com and check out our 5-star customer reviews. We offer a 10% discount to all veterans and active military. Call Pride Plumbing of Moore County at 910-295-0152. 910-295-0152. Serving with pride since 1965.
I think we can all agree weekends are delicious. Well, your weekend just got more delicious. The Hickory Tavern is now serving brunch on Saturdays and Sundays from 11 to 2 with several entrees to choose from. Baked omelet filled with sauteed peppers and onions, tomato and goat cheese, and topped with bacon crumble and sour cream. The Tower of Power beefy blueberry pancakes, avocado toast, fresh sliced avocado and tomato salsa piled on sourdough toast and topped with balsamic reduction, candied banana and walnut French toast, mini squares, and last but definitely not least, the Chicken Wafflewich, a Belgian waffle with hand-breaded chicken breast with maple sausage gravy. Each entree comes with a side of bacon. Wash it down with a shareable jumbo mimosa, carafe, or Bloody Mary. Get out of the box and into the Hickory Tavern for brunch, Saturdays and Sundays from 11 to 2.
Hey, this is Steve Leader Adams. You know, for many years, I've had arthritis in my right shoulder. I was at the point that surgery was the only option. Then I discovered pressure wave therapy, available at Wright Chiropractic in 7 Lakes. Pressure wave therapy is a machine that concentrates pulses of pressure waves into your joint at a rate of 2,000 pulses per minute. The treatment is non-invasive and there is no downtime. Pressure waves help your body restore blood flow to your damaged joints and can even remove bone spurs and works on almost any joint in the body, including knees, hips, feet, and elbows. I've gone to only being able to raise my arms from 90 degrees to a full 360-degree motion. You can live pain-free too, without going under a surgeon's knife. Give Dr. Sharon Wright a call at Wright Chiropractic in 7 Lakes. 910-673-2225. That's 910-673-2225.
NCN News. I'm Mike Riley. The black boxes have been recovered, but investigators still can't explain why an Ethiopian Airlines flight fell from the sky moments after takeoff on Sunday, killing all 157 people on board. 8 Americans and 19 UN workers were among the passengers, with a flight heading to Nairobi from the Ethiopian capital. CBS News correspondent Deborah Pata has more from Nairobi.
Piles of mangled debris lie scattered around the crash site. Strewn amongst the wreckage, items of clothing and personal belongings, a jarring reminder of just how many lives were lost.
2 planes carrying over 50 passengers each struck one another while pulling back from the gate at Charlotte Douglas International Airport on Sunday morning. No passengers were reported injured, and both aircraft are now being inspected to better determine the damage caused by the collision, which occurred around 9:45 a.m. Michelle Swan witnessed the incident and tells WSOC News.
They came together in one spot, so I didn't know exactly what was happening. It was just a big commotion.
Much of Venezuela is still in the dark amid widespread outages, which began last week. More from the BBC News reader Neil Nunez.
The Venezuelan government has told workers and students to stay at home as many parts of the country remain without power. The longest blackout in the country's history began late on Thursday. Shops and businesses have not opened for more than 3 days.
Atlantic Beach EMS Fire Chief Adam Snyder was seriously hurt in a snow skiing accident over the weekend. The accident was reported to have happened while Snyder was on a trip with his family at Wintergreen Resort in Virginia. The man was found dead this morning after police responded to a call about a domestic violence issue in northeast Charlotte. The homicide unit is investigating, but it's yet to be determined exactly how the man died. You're listening to NCN News.
Enjoy a new season of growth as UNC TV presents its spring fundraiser full of fresh new shows, including the ever-popular Pottery Live with Ben Owen III. Join this Seagrove star potter as he throws down live in the UNC TV studio. It all starts tonight at 8. Don't miss a moment of the action now through March 17th. See all that's on UNC TV, PBS, and more at unctv.org/specials. The Powerade State Games of North Carolina are coming this June to Charlotte. Registration is open for athletes of all ages and skill levels in 24 different sports. The Powerade State Games feature 13,000 athletes and 700 teams. Don't miss out on the largest sports festival of the year. Visit PoweradestateGames.org today. The Powerade State Games are brought to you by BB&T and Harris Teeter. For more information, visit PoweradestateGames.org.
One pollster is looking ahead to the 2020 Senate race and says it could be an uphill battle for the GOP incumbent in North Carolina. Tom Jensen with Public Policy Polling says Tom Tillis could have a struggle in a re-election attempt compared when he was first elected 5 years ago.
He wasn't popular even when he got elected. It was really just a situation where voters didn't like him or Kay Hagan, but they decided they disliked him marginally less than they disliked Kay Hagan, so he won by a couple points.
North Korea continues to evade UN sanctions aimed at pressuring Pyongyang to give up its nuclear and missile programs. According to a soon-to-be-released UN report, North Korea illegally imports petroleum, exports coal, and sells weapons. The Wall Street Journal's Michael Gordon has seen the report.
There are strong sanctions. They're certainly having an effect on the North Korean economy, but they're not having as much as an effect as the administration would like, because North Korea has found ways to mitigate them and get around them to some extent.
One longtime agribusiness leader says he is dissatisfied about the current state of immigration debate. State Farm Bureau President Larry Wooten says he would like to see more progress.
It's one of those issues. It's one of those issues that rallies the base on both. They use it, both sides use it to mobilize and rally the base and to raise money.
It's costing more and more to fill up your gas tanks.
I'm Tom Foti. Here is how gas prices are now trending.
We have a 6 cent per gallon rise in the national average price of regular grade in the past 2 weeks. The price is now $2.50.
Industry analyst and publisher Trilby Lundberg.
This is 19 cents higher than it was 2 months ago, mostly following crude oil prices up.
The lowest gas prices are around St. Louis, highest around San Francisco. Tom Foti, CBS News.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
We'll stay dry for the week ahead, and the Sandhills can expect those temperatures to cool off going into this week. Temperatures for today will be mild with a few clouds around. Highs will be in the upper 60s. Some areas could see readings in the lower 70s. Our temperatures for tonight fall off into the upper 30s. Expect those highs on Tuesday to be cooler in the lower 60s with a little bit more sunshine moving in. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Right now here in the Sandhills area, cloudy skies, 54 degrees. Humidity 93%, 2.52 pressure, 3018. Winds northwest at 3. And visibility is wide open at 10 statute miles. It is 8:13. Let's take a look at your Sandhills news for this Monday morning. According to the Aberdeen Police Chief Carl Colasaco, 2 vehicles were hit by gunfire at a party Saturday night at the Aberdeen Postmaster's house on the corner of South Street and Pine Street. Officers were called to the party around 11 p.m. and found 2 vehicles had been hit by gunfire. The chief stated that no people were hit by any of the rounds fired. The incident occurred at a party being held by a group that had rented the Postmaster's house. According to the chief, officers had responded to a minor complaint at the party before being called back for the shots being fired. No one has been arrested for the incident, which remains under investigation. Anyone with information is asked to call the Aberdeen Police Department crime tip line at 944-4561. And residents of the embattled Wood Lake community may finally have captured the attention of state lawmakers in their long story to repair their broken dam and restore their centerpiece lake. The pilot reporting the state Senator Tom McInnes has put forth a bill that would allow residents in the gated community east of Bass to hold a referendum to create a new taxing district. McInnes, a Republican who represents Moore, Richmond, Scotland, and Anson counties, introduced the bill last week. The creation of the proposed district, he said, could generate the necessary funds to repair Wood Lake's Lake Surf Dam and allow the lake to be restored. The dam, which was breached by the State Department of Environmental Quality in 2017, must be rebuilt before the emptied lake can be refilled with water. Once the centerpiece of the Wood Lake, the 1,200-acre impoundment, was drained after Hurricane Matthew weakened the dam in 2016 and jeopardized homes downstream. McGinnis' bill would set the stage for an arrangement similar to the one used to repair the Lake Ledbetter Dam in Rockingham. That's your latest Sandhills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes your latest in sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. It is 8:16.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Kyle Busch tracked down pole sitter Ryan Blaney before completing a victory in NASCAR's Cup Series race near Phoenix. Martin Truex Jr. finished second, followed by Blaney, Eric Almirola, and Denny Hamlin. College hoops on Sunday. Jessica Shepard had a season-high 30 points and 13 rebounds, and number 4, Notre Dame, claimed its 5th Atlantic Coast Conference tournament title in 6 years. They routed number 3 Louisville 99-79. On the men's side, 3rd-ranked North Carolina earned a share of the Atlantic Coast Conference regular season championship after they beat Duke on Saturday in Chapel Hill 79-70. Virginia, who owned the head-to-head tiebreaker with the Tar Heels, secured the number 1 seed for the tournament after they beat Louisville on Saturday. Virginia, the Heels, Duke, and Florida State, they all have double byes. They won't start the tournament until Thursday. And Mike Krzyzewski is optimistic Zion Williamson will be back in time to play.
I think we'll get Zion back for Thursday. Hopefully we'll get a couple good days of practice where he can play 5-on-5 and then see how that goes. But the way he looks right now, I think it's just a matter of getting in game shape.
NC State routed Boston College on Saturday to finish with the 8th seed. The Wolfpack will tip off the first full day of the tournament Wednesday in Charlotte when they go against Clemson. The Carolina Hurricanes rebounded from Friday's 8-1 decimation on home ice at the hands of Winnipeg. They beat the Predators 5-3 on Saturday in Nashville. Head coach Rod Brindamore.
These guys have been really great all year. Their effort last night was one of those one-offs, and tonight they came out and they asserted themselves, and they led the charge for sure.
Carolina will continue a 3-game road trip tonight in Colorado with a 9 o'clock puck drop against the Avalanche. Francisco Molinari won the PGA Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill Sunday. The reigning British Open champ rolled a 45-foot birdie putt on his final hole to cap an 8 under 64 that left him 2 strokes ahead of Matt Fitzpatrick. This is NCN Sports.
At AT&T, we believe that access to affordable home internet brings you incredible opportunities. You can enjoy the power to explore a digital world of possibilities and connect with family, friends, and the things that matter most. That's why there's access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month. No commitment, no deposit, no installation fee. Plus, get an in-home Wi-Fi gateway at no extra cost. Call 1-855-220-5211 or visit att.com/aware to learn more.
SNAP refers to the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pricing excludes tax. Service will include a monthly data allowance depending on the type and speed of service you receive. If you exceed your monthly data plan allowance, you will be automatically charged $10 for each 50 gigabytes of data usage in excess of your data plan, even if less than 50 gigabytes is used. For details about data allowances, go to att.com/internet-usage. Wi-Fi-enabled device required. Other restrictions apply.
Should college athletes have a chance to profit from their own name and image? One congressman from North Carolina thinks so and is preparing to introduce a bill on Capitol Hill this week. Mark Walker's legislation would modify the tax code, making it so the NCAA must give students the opportunity to make money off their name, image, or likeness. He told Spectrum News.
Sometimes these student athletes are putting in 40, 50-hour work weeks with really no pay at all. They get some food stipends and some of those things. But to be able, whether you're talking about the University of Alabama or whether you're a backup quarterback at Elon University, you should still have that access to that image.
The Republican who represents Greensboro, Walker, says he has met with NCAA representatives in crafting the bill that will again be introduced in Capitol Hill this week. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Eric Cooper here with Cooper Ford, your only locally owned Ford dealership in Moore County. 2018 was a phenomenal year, and we're off to a great start in 19. With 0% available on select models and discounts as much as $15,000, now is a great time to come see us at Cooper Ford and experience for yourself the difference a family-owned dealership can make. Straightforward pricing without all the hassle. I'm Eric Cooper, and I want to know you by name and show you how car buying should be. Please come visit us in historic Carthage or visit us on the web at cooperford.net. Working hard to be your hometown dealer.
Imagine a time when you have the freedom and resources to do all those things you've dreamed of without worrying about a tax bill. A time and place where all your hard-earned money works for you and not some government bureaucracy. Envision a carefree retirement. You've entered the tax-free zone. It's never been simpler to leave retirement uncertainty behind. Let me introduce you to my good friend, Coach Pete at Capital Financial and Insurance, LLC. Call Coach Pete at 888-623-8858. Again, that's 888-623-8858. And be sure to visit taxfreecoach.com for a very special webinar on reducing taxes in retirement. That's taxfreecoach.com. You'll be glad you visited the tax-free zone.
American Water Treatment Services has been providing the best water purification systems for over 25 years to Moore County residents and the surrounding area. Our mission is to provide you with the best environmental products to improve the quality of water in your home, improving both your family's well-being and overall health. American Water Treatment's professionally trained technicians assure you that our equipment fits your home and family's needs. Our local water guys, Paul and Marty, own the business and collectively have had 30 years of water treatment experience. American Water Treatment is fully insured with a AAA Plus Better Business Bureau rating. Call for a free in-home water analysis at 910-944-3140 or go online to AmericanWTS.com. We at American Water Treatment can do just about anything with your water except walk on it. Call 910-944-3140 and ask for the Water Guys.
You know they're out there.
You know.
You can't see them.
Can't see.
You can't hear them. But you know they're there.
They're there.
Termites. You know they're hungry. And you know your house is their main course. So you know you have to do something.
What can you do?
It's really quite simple. You ask for Termador, the unique treatment that wipes out 100% of the termites in your home in 3 months or less. Every last termite dead.
Bye-bye.
For a long, long time. Now you know. Only Termador is 100% effective against termites in 3 months or less. So ask for Termador by name from your pest control company. Because if you're not asking for Termador, you're asking for trouble.
Termador is available at Aberdeen Exterminating. Call 944-2474. That's 944-2474.
Imagine a time when you have the freedom and resources to do all those things you've dreamed of without worrying about a tax bill. A time and place where all your hard-earned money works for you and not some government bureaucracy. Envision a carefree retirement. You've entered the tax-free zone. It's never been simpler to leave retirement uncertainty behind. Let me introduce you to my good friend, Coach Pete at Capital Financial and Insurance, LLC. Call Coach Pete at 888-623-8858. Again, that's 888-623-8858. And be sure to visit taxfreecoach.com for a very special webinar on reducing taxes in retirement. That's taxfreecoach.com. You'll be glad you visited the tax-free zone.
You already know about Little Dino's great subs, but did you know they make some of the very best pizza as well? But if subs are your preference, then you won't find more choices anywhere else. That's why Little Dino's motto is, more choices, more flavor. And it's true. At Little Dino's, you'll always eat fresh. But unlike some national chains, their staff isn't fresh. So get off the chain gang and come into Little Dino's for more choices, more flavor, and friendly service. Little Dino's, located in Olmsted Village Shopping Center off 211 in Pinehurst.
Hello. I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. There was a story in the news yesterday about a 51-year-old, very experienced diver who was snorkeling off the coast of South Africa. His company was documenting a sardine run. That's millions of sardines swimming by very quickly with all kinds of predators chasing them. The man said he was looking around when all of a sudden everything went dark. Well, it turns out the reason everything went dark was because a whale had just opened its mouth and taken the guy's entire upper torso in head first. The guy survived, and I'm really glad he did, because he gave us 2 quotes that I wouldn't have missed. Before I tell you what they were, I need to say, you really got to go look up these photographs to get a real idea of what happened. It'll help put these things in perspective. The guy was 25 miles offshore. One reason he missed seeing the whale coming was because he was watching the sharks that were all around him, making sure they couldn't get him. While he was speaking of being in the whale's mouth, in shark-infested waters, the man stated, "There's no time for fear in a situation like that." What? Now, if I had to make a list of times for fear, that'd be pretty high up on the list, don't you think? The second quote I liked was, Once I realized I was too big for the well to swallow me, there was instant relief. Now, I'm a pretty optimistic guy, but that's a little bit early for me to start feeling relief. I hope you go look at the photos, and I hope you have a really good day from the Zoom Wall Zone.
The Sandhills will keep a few clouds around for this morning and temperatures on the mild side, but we could see those clouds break apart by the afternoon and highs topping off in the upper 60s. Some areas could see readings in the lower 70s. Sunny conditions will move in on Tuesday. Those temperatures, though, will be noticeably cooler. We head into the lower 60s by the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Good morning, good people.
Welcome to Monday.
Good morning and welcome to Monday.
Welcome to Monday.
The day after daylight saving time, you're all messed up.
I am plenty messed up.
Daylight saving, not plural, time.
Can I go back to bed now? No.
It's Monday. Shake off the covers. Get out of bed. Let's get this week started.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. This morning's with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, and this program being seen around the world on a live video stream at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located. On your mobile device or tablet, use your YouTube app. Put Mornings with the Leader Man. Leader Man, all one word and spell like it sounds. Put that into your search and we should pop up at the top of your results. If you're on your mobile device just looking audio, we suggest many streaming services that are free and available on your app stores like TuneIn, iTunes, StreamUp, Alexa. I'm looking at a whole list of stuff this weekend. Can't remember it. Anyway, whole lot, whatever your streaming service is, most of them except iHeartRadio plays us. iHeartRadio only plays those stations that they own, which is a lot of them. And of course, you can always get our crystal clear digital stream right there on our website at talk973.com. Upper right-hand corner of any page has an icon that says Listen Live. You tap it once, and you're listening that quick. It's going to be nice today. Partly cloudy, high of 73. That's almost too nice. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 42. Tomorrow, more sunshine, more reasonable temperatures, 63, which is getting in the normal range of this time of year. Usually our normal high is 60. Tuesday night, mostly clear, low of 35. Wednesday, partly cloudy, 63. Thursday, partly cloudy, 71. Rain sets back in Thursday night into Friday. Look for a high of 73 with scattered showers. Friday night, the rain's still around. Those pesky scattered showers, kind of like yesterday. 1 second is drizzling, the next second is not. Anyway, Saturday, pesky showers start to back off. Look for a high of 61 under mostly partly cloudy skies. And Sunday, partly cloudy, finally no mention of rain, and a high of 56. Right now around the Sandhills, winds to northwest of 3, visibility 10 sketchy miles. Pressure is 3021, dew point 51, humidity at 93%. It's a little peeking sun out there. And 53 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 8:30 past the hour. The daylight savings time, have you gotten used to it yet? I don't think any of us do. It kind of is there. I have to come to the station every time the time changes at 2 o'clock. And I came in Sunday morning at 2. And and I looked at my log on the computer, and it was saying it's getting ready to play the 3 o'clock hour. Well, oh, cool. It's already done it, and skipping the 2 o'clock hour, no problem. Well, as soon as it came to 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock, time changed to 3 o'clock, and evidently the automation picked that up as a cue to start the spots in the middle of the news. Man. So I had to stop that, resync that. And it took another break for me to get everything straightened out. Computers just don't like all that. Too many signals coming in at an exact time, and it can only do one thing at a time. And it tends to throw it off. So be it. That's why I was here. So that could get fixed in a hurry while nobody was really listening. Yeah, we ain't got an audience or two, but it's just not as big as it is right now. But daylight savings time now in full effect until October, when we'll switch back. Do a little yes or BS on this, just little interesting facts about daylight savings time. The question one would be, the U.S. started using daylight savings time during the Revolutionary War in 1781. And that, of course, is total BS. The Germans were the first country to use it, and it wasn't until 1916. They did it to save energy during World War I. Then we followed suit in 1918. Question 2. Arizona is the only state that doesn't do daylight savings time. That is BS. Hawaii doesn't do it either, although one section of Arizona does it. The Navajo Nation in the northeast corner of the state observes it each year, but the Hopi Indian Reservation, right in the middle of it, does not observe it. Florida passed a bill last year to observe daylight savings time year-round. Yes, they did, but it can't go into effect unless the federal government changes the law. The Uniform Time Act of 1966 says states can't observe it year-round. Fourthly, researchers in Antarctica do daylight savings time even though there are parts of the summer when the sun never even comes up. That is true. They do it to stay synced with their supply stations in South Africa and New Zealand. And 6 months of the year are in standard time and 6 months in daylight savings time. Is that true or BS? It is BS. Gave that away when I started talking about this. Daylight saving time runs from March to November. So about 8 months of the year are in daylight savings time and just 4 in standard time. I think it's more like 7 and 5 because it falls on, like in March is, what was it, in the second week? But anyway, it's not 50-50 by any means. All right, 8:34 past the hour. The colonel was going to be here this half hour. In fact, he showed up, and then he was looking at his phone. He goes, "Oh, my gosh, I got an appointment with my heat and air man at 8:30. I said, well, he says, I'll be back tomorrow. So we'll get to enjoy him tomorrow. And maybe some Thursday, too. We'll see. 8:34. Time for morning rim shots right quick. And see if we can put a little smile on your face on your way to work. The singer Bobby McFerrin turned 69 today. At his last checkup, the doctor told him, I still want you to be happy, but at your age, a little worry isn't a bad thing. Whoopi Goldberg says she nearly died from pneumonia and actually did die hosting the Oscars. In fact, Whoopi came out on The View and had a bunch to say about it. Let's see if I can get her up here right quick. There it is. Whoopi about pneumonia.
Hey, yes, it's me. I am here. I am up and moving around, not as fast as I'd like to be, but I am okay. I'm not dead. So here's what happened. I had pneumonia, and I was septic. Pneumonia in both lungs, which meant there was fluid, there was all kinds of stuff going on. And yes, I came very, very close to leaving the earth. Good news, I didn't. Thank you for all of your good wishes, all of the wonderful things that people have been saying. Even people who are not like huge fans of mine have actually said nice things about me. We all know that's going to change when I get back. But for right now, it's brilliant. And thank you for everything. And ladies, I cannot wait to see y'all. This has been interesting, and I'll tell you about it when we're all at the table.
All right, Whoopi Goldberg talking about her pneumonia. The Simpsons pulled the episode featuring Michael Jackson. Yeah, something like that was once funny, but now sad and disturbing, will no longer air an episode featuring Michael Jackson. Jussie Smollett, charged with 16 counts of filing a false police report. Hopefully he doesn't beat himself up over this, you know. CW, that's the network, has canceled Arrow, ironically because it was pretty pointless. The U.S. women's soccer team is suing to be paid the same as men. And in other fascinating stories about soccer, no, that's it. Ever. Pittsburgh's Pro Bowl wide receiver Antonio Brown was traded to the Oakland Raiders. Excited Raider fans gave each other the high five, which was no easy task considering they're all handcuffed. A Pennsylvania man was arrested for choking a guy because he wouldn't stop singing Christmas songs. He was charged with first degree, making the world a much better place. Someone made a candle that smells like McDonald's cheeseburgers. I mean, this candle's so realistic that just the smell hardens your arteries. And a couple was arrested for having sex at an Ohio water park. That's so gross, having sex and all that pee. Come on now. Paul Manafort got 4 years for bank fraud. Manafort was able to reduce his sentence by hiding 19 years in an offshore account. And North Koreans went to the polls to vote for members of parliament. North Korea here. And there was a good turnout because many North Koreans find the ballots delicious. Must be all that ink. All right, that's your rim shots for today. Moving back to a few more sound bites this morning. Where'd it go? There we go. I got a story on this, too. Come on, Windows. Play radio with me. It seems like just after Justin Bieber got married, he fell into some kind of emotional funk. Supposedly, it has nothing to do with being married, but over the weekend, he did admit he's having issues. In an Instagram post, he said, quote, just wanted to keep you guys updated a little bit. Hopefully what I'm going through will resonate with you guys. Been struggling a lot. Just feeling super disconnected and weird. Quoting here, I always bounce back, so I'm not worried just wanted to reach out and ask for you guys to pray for me. God is faithful, and your prayers really work. Thanks. The most human reason I've ever been in facing my stuff head on. Anyway, end of quote. Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me either. But he did post a little video having fun with the wife here.
What? 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 What?
I was a Jonas Brothers
What?
fan. I'm sorry. Don't tickle me, please.
guess it's hard to hear over all the jet engines in his private jet, leaving his big carbon footprint across the country as he touts global warming. Jan Michael Vincent, remember him? Passed away last month after suffering a heart attack. He was 73. He was best known for playing Stringfellow Hawk in the 80s TV series Airwolf, which is what you're listening to the theme of. But after that, he was basically ruined his career with drugs and alcohol. And in 2012, he had to have his right leg amputated due to infection. And there's more. He died close to here, by the way. Let me see if I can find that's another story. He was also starred in The Mechanic, White Line Fever, TV's Airwolf, before a raft of personal problems and illnesses led him to a downhill spiral. He died February 10th, by the way, a cardiac arrest at Missions Hospital Memorial Campus in Asheville, North Carolina. There you go. And there's more. Here's a scene from the movie Hooper with Burt Reynolds and Jan Michael Vincent together in a car.
Your life is worth $50,000. That's the price you put on it when you got behind this wheel.
Sonny, Ski, if you do not try to make this jump, you'll never work in this town again. Is that...
We're going, huh? We're going, yeah, we're going.
You're crazy.
I'm gonna hit it.
There you go. Let's see here. Okay. Saturday Night Live, couldn't resist. Opened by spoofing Gayle King's interview with R. Kelly. That's from Saturday Night Live this past weekend.
These people made a 6-part documentary about me. 6. That's almost 10. And not one of them said a nice thing about me. They made it seem like I was the devil. I'm not the devil. And even if I was, you can't think of one nice thing to say about the devil? I can. Nice horns. Gives good advice.
So why do you think people are making these lies up about you?
For money, obviously. I'm a very rich man. And people are always trying to take advantage of me.
Well, if you're so rich, why did it take so long to pay $160,000 you owe back in child support?
Damn, that's a good question. I wasn't expecting that. Now I gotta switch directions and get some sympathy back. Because I'm a very poor man.
But Robert.
Victim.
No. You sold millions of records and made millions of dollars.
More than millions, thousands.
Millions is more than thousands, Robert.
Okay, my bad.
So what happened to all the money?
I don't know. Ask who's the guy you pay to watch all your money? Starts with a Q.
Your accountant?
No, my cousin Reggie, that's it.
All right, from Saturday Night Live there. Brie Larson, she stars in that new movie, Captain Marvel. I went and saw that Friday. And, I've been hearing how it was the best Marvel movie of all time. And they get it hyped up pretty good. It was okay. It was mostly a biography of how she came to be Captain Marvel. And the whole movie, in fact, was about that, from start to finish. And so it's more of a biography type movie than it is going after the bad guys so much, although they did some of that too. But it had a few twists and turns in there that you may not have seen coming. But Brie Larson, she surprised the whole theater full of people who went to see Captain Marvel this weekend and joked about being on the cup at the concession stand.
popcorn and I wanted to see for myself. So thank you so much for coming. You guys are so awesome to come, like, opening weekend. That's
Okie dokie. That's pretty much it for my sound bites. Let's, I don't know. We don't do it quite as often as we did, but let's get it on. Get the bad guys off the street.
My pretty, and your little dog, too. What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the golden.
All right, my friends, it's time once again. Stand up, walk the floor like you own in the style of the Duke John Wayne. Open up your closet doors, look at all 30 of your Liberty safes. Today we're going to go to Liberty safe number 17. Open that bad boy up and reach in and grab that 9mm Smith & Wesson. And put those boys right in your holster. Pin on your badge, grab 5 cans of some super whoop ass as we now go out the door in relentless pursuit of stupid criminal news. Stupid criminal news number 1 this morning. I'm not defending what this guy did, but I get it. 25-year-old Clayton Lucas has been living in a halfway house near Pittsburgh. Apparently, he's has a history of drug abuse. And he was on his way to a treatment class last Monday when a guy driving him there wouldn't stop singing along to Christmas carols. Yes, in March. It's not clear if they knew each other or what, but Clayton asked him to stop, and the guy wouldn't. So while they were driving down the road, Clayton reached from behind the seat and started to strangle him. Don't you know I just got off drugs? This is like withdrawal to me. Now you're making it worse. The guy almost passed out, but managed to pull over onto the side of the road. And a cop saw them arguing and arrested Clayton. He's now facing several charges, including aggravated assault. Stupid criminal news number 2. The beef at Taco Bell is really just 88% beef. It has a bunch of other ingredients, too, including wood pulp. But there are still people out there who are passionate about it. A guy in Spartanburg, South Carolina, ordered a Mexican pizza at Taco Bell on Wednesday. And he was angry after they didn't put enough beef in it. So he had to make him another one. But he still wasn't satisfied with the amount of the meat. At that point, he became enraged. Started swearing at the employees and told him he'd show him how to do it. Then he went behind the counter and started making his order himself. He walked into the kitchen, made another Mexican pizza with more beef on it, then grabbed his food and left. Someone did call the police, but he was gone by the time they got there. Once they track him down, he'll be facing larceny and trespassing charges. That is, if they track him down. And last but not least, kind of want to judge to go easy on these two because whatever swamp disease they get from this is punishing enough. A couple in Sandusky, Ohio, got arrested Tuesday after they were caught having sex in a hot tub at a water park. Water parks are notoriously gross, with stuff like urine, feces, sweat floating around from hundreds of people. Studies have found hot tubs are the perfect breeding ground for those germs. So a hot tub at a water park is about as disgusting as it gets. A lifeguard caught 25-year-old Camden Mack and his 22-year-old girlfriend Taylor Coates getting it on in the hot tub. And they refused to leave, so someone called the police. Apparently, they both got, you knew alcohol be involved. They were arrested for disorderly conduct and trespassing. And Camden is also facing an escape charge because he broke out of a police car after they cuffed him. And I got a picture of both of them here. Oh. You thought the water was disgusting? And that, my friends, is your stupid criminal news for this Monday. All righty. Exciting stuff there. It is 9 away from the top of the hour. It's 8:51. Let's see here. All right. Put your arm in the air. Put your fingers up as called for, because here it comes.
And now it's time for...
Random facts.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Random facts for today, and maybe a spare. We're lucky. The trend of players wearing longer basketball shorts started in 1987 when Michael Jordan asked for his to be lengthened so he could hold them when he bent over to breathe. In fact, that's the big sign in basketball, is if the other team, you see a lot of people on the other team on the foul line, and they're all holding those trousers. What they're saying is, I'm tired. I'm tired. That's when you take it to them with fresh legs on the floor. New York taxis were originally red and green when they hit the streets in 1907, but they were all painted yellow within a few years, so they'd be easier to see. The highest scoring game in college basketball history is Troy State versus the Fry University of Atlanta in 1992. Troy won 258 to 141. Sally, how long was that game? What did they do? Just agree not to play defense? The word bikini comes from a language spoken in the Marshall Islands from Marshallese and literally translates to surface of coconuts. And there's a difference between we're going to skip that one. That's not good taste. All right. That's your random facts for today. Today, by the way, well, daylight savings time started yesterday, so we lost an hour of sleep. But if you want to steal it back, today is National Napping Day. So there's an excuse when your boss catches you sleeping at your desk. But if you aren't feeling a little more tired than usual today, this might be why. A study looked at how we're affected by changes in our sleep pattern. And it almost depends on how good of a sleeper you are in general. 56% of people who describe themselves as poor sleepers said that shifting their bedtime by an hour or more makes them feel worse the next day. But only 28% of excitement, or I should say excellent sleepers, said the same thing. And 47% of poor sleepers also said it affects them emotionally compared to just 16% of excellent sleepers. And 46% of poor sleepers said it makes them less productive compared to 16% of the excellent sleepers. And do you want to be happy? We all do, if it's possible. According to a recent survey, money is not one of the top 10 keys to happiness, at least not directly. Sure makes it easier. Spending quality time with your family was chosen as the number one key to happiness. To be fair, though, it's a lot easier to make time when you've got plenty of money in the bank. Here are the top 10 keys to happiness according to the study. At number 1, spending time with your family. Number 2, having time to yourself. Number 3, spending time with friends. So the top 3 are all about having more free time. Number 4, being outdoors more. Number 5, sleeping well. Well, we move that up to number 1 and you'll be happy. Indulging your favorite hobby is number 6, followed by delicious food, especially if it's good for you. Continuing to learn to discover new things is 8th, and number 9, eating healthy, and 10th, exercise. The survey found 20% of us spend less than 30 minutes a day on things that truly make us happy. So there you go. And get this. How much would you have to be paid to get back together with an ex you hated? Is it $1 million? Is that enough? How about $250 million? A 54-year-old guy in New Jersey named Mike Worski hit the lottery this month for $273 million. Not a bad day. I bet he's happy. You might have heard about him because he almost lost his ticket. He forgot it at the gas station when he bought it, then went back the next day and someone had turned it in to the lost and found, and now he's trying to track the person down to reward them for it. Anyway, there's another wrinkle to the story because he recently got divorced, and his ex-wife just did an interview where she said she'd still never take him back. Her name is Aline Murray, and she was married for 15 years until the divorce last October. She made all the money, and he was a stay-at-home dad, so she's hoping he'll, quote, do the right thing and toss some money her way, especially since she gave him a lot of money in the divorce and she's still paying alimony. But when a reporter asked if she'd ever think about getting back together with him, she said, no way. Quote, he's not appealing to me all of a sudden just because he has his money. Well, maybe he will do the right thing. Time will tell, and so it goes for this Monday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9 for a titillating Tuesday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. So live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and the Leader Man and Nick and Colt the Dog. We'll all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Sunny Dog Park.